doing? This is Black Shy Guy. Welcome to a brand new video, and as always, make sure you subscribe if you haven't been a freaking member of the Chi-Town resident as of yet, and also hit the notification button to get notified on any upcoming new videos, and as well hit the freaking like button because it really helps out the channel. Thank you for sitting at my table. Another allegation has come up, and this is a very important allegation and a very important lesson to most, which I believe guys would never listen to. Guys would never listen to this tip that other guys usually say, because when you have the options are always going to be taken to males who have the opportunity to take them. Listen, what I'm trying to say is there has been an allegation towards Alex Pereira, all right? Alex Pereira has been in an allegation starting as of 2 days ago, okay? By a woman named Meredith Brown, okay? A young girl, all right? And listen, I'm gonna say this, all right? This is what I'm going to do, and I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this because it needs to be shown, because it proves points that I want to prove later on after hearing what she has to say about Alex Pereira and the situation that went on between her and him. And listen, nothing has been proven yet. Maybe I'm gonna be freaking stuck out in the wind, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm gonna be freaking having a thumb up my ass by the time this all ends. I can be wrong is what I'm trying to say. But as a human being, I have my opinions and I have my doubts about what went on between Alex Pereira and Meredith Brown. And before I continue with that story, I want you guys to witness what I'm about to show you. Roll the videotape!
I say, bitch, bend over, stand up on your toes, like your knees back, baby, breathe through your nose.
Bad bitch, I know I'm fine, super sexy, super thick, long.
And listen, I'm not showing you all of that so you can have doubts about what is she saying about Alex Pereira. I'm showing you these videos for the simple fact of this is not a young woman who has a very innocent lifestyle. This is a young woman, obviously, who has taken her lifestyle and her actions and put her in a very, very vulnerable position with the men that she chooses to go out with. And obviously the men that she chooses to go out with are 1% men who have the options to enter and then leave, like the Thunderdome, you know what I mean? 2 people enter, 1 man leave. It is what it is. But what I'm trying to say is her lifestyle is not an innocent lifestyle, and what she tries to portray in her storytelling is that she's a very innocent girl who hasn't done anything wrong, etc., etc., and she wants the complete sympathy of everybody who's basically paying attention to this situation, and that Alex Pereira is completely guilty, he's not a good man, etc. All right, that's what she wants everyone to believe. But and I'm not, and before I continue, her lifestyle by no means gives anyone the right to touch her whatsoever without her compliance, okay? That's all. I'm gonna say that right there. You know what I mean? What I'm just showing the video for is to show you the lifestyle that she has chosen for herself has put her in this situation. So for her to seek sympathy and for her to claim that she's just a regular young girl is beyond freaking comprehension to what just went on between her and Alex Pereira. And what went on between Alex Pereira is what I'm about to show you and what she basically confessed to.
Over 2 months ago, he DM'd her after she follows him, asks her questions like how long she had been doing kickboxing for, how she got into it, stuff like that. He asks her if she's going to the fight in New Jersey that we went to. I don't know what number it was. I'm not into it like that, like she is. This was my first time ever meeting Alex or knowing who he was. I'm not a huge UFC fan. I just got into it because my friend was into it.
That has already been debunked because of the text messages that she revealed, which I will not get into as of now. But let's hear her out. Let's hear what she has to say.
Alex's assistant, translator, best friend, whoever he was, his name is Mel.
We all know who Mel is. Mel is not Alex's assistant. Mel is someone Alex has taken under his wing who's training to become champion or a great fighter one day. Mel has been under Alex's wing for a while now. He's not even, is he Alex's training partner? You can say that, you know what I mean? That makes more sense. But everyone who follows Alex Pereira, who follows UFC, knows Mel is not his assistant. Mel is not his business partner. Mel is basically someone Alex has taken under his wing to become champion one day. But let's continue.
Asks my friend if she wants to meet up with him in New Jersey when she goes to the fight. He also says that Alex is wondering if she has a friend for him. I know it sounds stupid and unbelievable because I couldn't believe it myself. Why is this guy asking a 20-year-old girl to put him on with one of her friends when he's a 30-year-old, however, father who should be able to just, like, talk to a woman his age at the fight? It was planned out on purpose because he does this all the time.
That's an assumption she's throwing out there. That's just an assumption. She doesn't know if he does this all the time. Who knows? But I want to point out what she said right there. That a 37-year-old going for a 21-year-old, whatever the case may be, is because she is of legal age. She is of legal age. But I'm going to say this as a man myself, okay? Is it illegal for a 37-year-old to go out with a 20-year-old? No, it's not illegal. She is of age. The man obviously can go out with her. In some countries, I believe it's not allowed or whatever, but in majority of the countries, it is allowed. But I'm going to say this in my personal opinion. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Let me say that again. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, especially when you have an explosive career like Alex Pereira has been having, because it can all come crashing down. Just because of an allegation, let me add. Just because of an allegation, you could be an innocent man all you want. You could have done nothing wrong, but the fact that the allegation comes out, sometimes and most of the time, it will destroy your career. That's why I don't understand why 1% men take these chances with these young girls. I don't understand it. Can you go out with them, sleep with them, whatever you want to do with them? Yes, you can. It's legal. But should you? Should you? Because most time than not, in this modern age, this is what happens. Let's continue.
My friend sends Mel, the assistant and the translator, whoever he was, he never really gave us an explanation who he was. She sends him my Instagram. Mel shows Alex my Instagram. Apparently, the only thing he said was Chama. I'll try and find the text proof where my friend was telling me this. Which is disgusting now that I know what his intent was. We go to New Jersey. Mel hits up my friend, invites us both to a private training at a gym called Cruise MMA, where Alex is training. We're the only women in there except for this older woman who's married to one of the people that's also sparring. I'm hoping I can find security footage.
I don't know why I hearted that. Get that out. I believe she's talking about Tashira's wife, who sometimes is at the gym. I definitely believe she's talking about Tashira's wife. But let's continue.
My friend spars with him. I videotape the whole time, and I'm sitting down watching. I can post the video that I took also, where my friend is sparring with him.
Doesn't prove anything, but let's continue.
Him and Mel take me and my friend outside of the gym that we were in after the training session. He comes on to me, goes behind me, looks at my ass, and approves to his translator, which is also disgusting now that I know what his intent was.
It is disgusting because he looked at your ass. It is disgusting because a man looks at your ass. But you're online doing all this jiggling and putting your ass while you're wearing a thong in front of the camera so everyone can look at your ass. So basically your ass is your commercializing piece. And now that someone is actually obliging to your commercializing piece, you're calling it disgusting. Because obviously if you're doing that for the camera, obviously any man who sees you or meets you is just gonna want one thing with you most of the time. You're not gonna meet a man who's gonna want to freaking put a baby in you and start a family. Not with that type of lifestyle. So she contradicted herself right there. Like, it just doesn't make sense. What do you think a man is gonna want with you after he witnesses basically your resume, which is your social media page, and then gets to meet you and has an opportunity to take you home? What else do you think he's gonna want to do with you? Marry you? No, he's not gonna marry you. He's not gonna want to marry you. I don't understand these modern age young females that want to portray their ass online, and then when they meet a guy and the guy is actually staring at the ass, that very ass that they're publicizing on their social media, they get upset and all uptight about the fact that he's staring at her ass. Don't put it out on social media then. Let's continue.
Was like I was cattle or something. Mind you, this man doesn't speak any English. I don't know what he's saying the entire time. His translator is translating for me everything he's saying and everything I'm saying. He tries to kiss me outside of Cruz MMA gym. I grab his face and I push him away. I will try to find security footage from a building around it if possible. We leave the training. They then invite us to like a meeting or like something that was outside where they were like signing stuff, I guess. I don't know. But we turned it down because it was outside and it was super hot and we had already done our makeup and gotten ready for the UFC fight that night. So they then invite us to dinner before the UFC fight. We were going to go out, according to them, but he sends us an address, and our Uber takes us to a very nice hotel where Alex is staying, and a bunch of, I guess, UFC fighters are also there. His assistant and translator, Mel, brings us into this fancy hotel. I can find security footage proof of this also, and it's just a bunch of...
She's saying she could find security. That doesn't matter. If he's there with you in the hotel, that doesn't prove that he did anything wrong. It just proves that you guys were together. Both of you guys agreed to be together, and you guys were together at the hotel. So her constantly saying, I can prove it, he was with me. So what was he with you? He was with you, okay. He was with you. But you were disgusted by Alex Pereira when he was basically displaying an affection towards you while you were at the gym. While you're at the gym, you still agreed to go with him to this hotel that him and his protege Mel decided to get for you guys. If you were disgusted with Alex Pereira at the gym, why did you proceed to go to a hotel with Alex Pereira? Where do you think his intentions were when he purchased that hotel for you guys? It's not hard to tell. It's not hard to tell. Yes, you may claim naive, you may claim ignorance or whatever the case may be, but just because you claimed it doesn't mean that you were not down for it, okay? Doesn't mean that you were not down for it. I want to say this, all right? And I'm going to say this to a lot of men who continue to put themselves in this situation because it's a pretty face. It's not worth your career especially if you're a high-level male. It's not worth your career. Let's continue.
Like UFC people sitting in a circle, and Alex looks up at us looks angry as fuck, and tells his assistant Mel to take us out of the hotel. And everyone is looking at us like, who are these girls? Why are they here? I don't know either. I'm just, like, there because they asked us to, and, like, I didn't realize they were bad people. He makes us leave the hotel, and he brings us to the Courtyard Marriott across the street from it. They have 2 hotel rooms that they have already bought for that night, which is disgusting. It was all planned out. They take us to the Courtyard Marriott across the street from the actual hotel that Alex is staying at.
So what? It was planned out. So what? His intentions was to have sex with you. Period. You should have known that. You were disgusted by him, correct? Were you that naive? I mean, let's say this goes to court. Would the jury believe that you were actually that naive? Let's continue.
We go to the restaurant in the like lobby of the Courtyard Marriott. I can find security footage proof of this also.
Just keep saying it.
They buy us a flatbread pizza, and then they ask, well, Mel is asking all of this. Alex doesn't speak any English. He's just translating. Mel asks us how old we are. I said, I'm 21. My friend says that she's
21,
20
of legal
years
age.
old. Not old enough to drink alcohol. So he talks to Alex, tells him how old we say we are, and then they buy us, I think, 2 glasses of wine. So, mind you, they're buying alcohol for a 20-year-old girl that is not old enough to drink alcohol, and this is on security footage. Didn't make me sign an NDA before he did any of this. Like, just...
And look what she did. She tagged Alex Pereira in this. She tagged UFC in it. She tagged the boxing committee. Because, you know, when you put /boxer, you know everybody's going to see this. Everybody's going to see it also when you tag UFC. You know everybody who's taking place in UFC 302 is also going to see this. She basically is trying to destroy this man's career. And if it's true that he actually did all of that, despite me liking Alex Pereira, then he deserves it. But, I mean, to come out with this, and this is why once again I say this, it's not worth your career. Every great man's destruction was a woman. I don't understand why 1% men don't get this. There's only a few Denzel Washingtons. There's only a few Denzel Washingtons. Once you start a high level of success within your career and you become a 1% man, a man that's highly noticeable throughout the whole tri-state area, around the country, around the globe, you are a target for young ladies like this. A target. And young ladies know this because modern age young ladies learn a lot of things because the internet exists. Alex Pereira, I must say, is wrong with dealing with a woman like this. He should have noticed. His team should have put him on notice. Like, yo, what are you doing? She look good, but she's 20. You know where her mind is at? I mean, how long have you noticed? I know you want to smash. I know you want to smash, my dude, but think about it, my man. Think about it. His team should have looked out for him. I mean, I'm not going to lie. His team should have looked out for him. Sometimes you need somebody in your team to be like, yo, my dude, I know, man, she got the nice ass, but is that ass worth your career? I'm telling you.
Did it because he does this all the time probably. It was so routine and planned out. They're giving us drinks. Alex won't get off of me. I'm not into it because I don't know this man. I don't like being
and still
touched
chooses not to leave.
If I don't know you and I'm not comfortable with you, even if you're my family member, I just don't like being touched. I'm starting to get tipsy and I feel sick because I don't do well when I drink. But I'm trying to calm my nerves. He won't get off of me. He keeps asking me to go to the bathroom with him, or he's asking Mel, and Mel is telling me this. So I guess
hold on, because Chucky want to see it too.
He didn't technically, well, no, because he did it. He just technically didn't say any of it to my face. He said it through his translator, and his translator said it to my face. But his translator.
Chucky is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Let's continue.
Wasn't the one who assaulted me. He's telling his translator to ask me to go to the bathroom with him. I'm telling him no because I don't do that. I get uncomfortable and nervous. And as much as you guys think that I'm this, like, whore, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on TikTok. As much as you guys think these things about me just because of the line of work that I do, I just do what I have to do to make ends meet. That has nothing to do with anything.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop with the fake crying. Because if you want people to believe you, that right there just got you a negative.
I don't put out the first time meeting somebody because I have a lot of trauma and I get nervous and scared. I will try to find security footage. Legally, they have to be able to pull this up, right? Like, Alex can't, like, somehow, like, get it erased. That would literally not be fair. I'm gonna try my hardest to find the security footage. If it actually ends up, like, going to court or, like, something happens. I don't know what I was...
Chuck is like, bitch ain't going to court. It is not going to court. Because Alex is going to pay for the highest available lawyer who's very, very good at his job and put a cease on this if it is a lie. But Chucky and me, we seeing eye to eye. And Chucky is looking at me like, yo, this bitch is lying. Oh.
Expecting. I just posted it because I just
God.
wanted to talk about it. I go to the bathroom with my friend after Alex has been coming on to me the whole night and I feel sick and uncomfortable and like I'm about to throw up. I tell her in the bathroom, at no point during this whole entire visit with these people are you to leave me because I'm not comfortable. We agree that we won't leave each other at any point because Mel, the assistant and the translator, is also hitting on my friend, who's 20 years old. I don't know how old this man was.
I forgot how old Mel is.
I'm trying to tell Alex.
Mel is young, though.
To tell Alex that I don't put out like that after I meet someone for the very first time, and that I need him to get to know me and to work for it. I, quote, said to his translator, trying not to be a prude and annoying, but I told him, I was like, how do I say you have to work for it? His assistant laughs, tells Alex, and Alex tells his assistant to tell us that he really likes us and he's going to take us on a trip to the Dominican Republic to get to know us better, because I guess he's trying to, like, convince me that he's not, you know, just trying to take advantage of me. So I'm like, okay, like, that's great. I don't have a passport. Like, can you, like, let me know, like, when this is happening so I can, like...
So you were uncomfortable with Alex the minute he mentions a trip to Dominican Republic, San Pedro de Macorís. You know what I mean? Conoce mi país. You know what I mean? The minute he mentions my country, I'm not going to say, hey. The minute he mentions Dominican Republic, you're down for it. Despite the fact that you're uncomfortable with him, he's touching you when you don't want to be touched. He's obviously trying to get you into bed. He's trying to smash you. You're uncomfortable until he mentions Dominican Republic. That threw everything away, right? I mean, seriously, can the jury really buy a story like this? I'm just dumbfounded at how dumb this confessional video that she made is making her look. I'm just dumbfounded.
Pack and, like, get ready for it, like... I mean, I make my own money and I don't need this man's money. Is not me trying to get his money. I literally could not care less if I don't get anything out of this except for to find my own voice again. Oh. I just wanted to talk about my story. I was not expecting his fans to be as bad as he is, but I guess I should have known.
As bad as he is, okay.
We have to split up because it's time to go to the UFC fight. His translator and Alex go on their own. Me and my friend take an Uber. It goes terribly. The fight ends. Afterwards, his assistant Mel sends an Uber to our location after the UFC fight and brings us back to the courtyard Marriott where we were gonna go out. We were gonna go there, and they were gonna drive us, and they were talking about going to, I don't know, they were talking about going to strip clubs. Just to be clear also, that picture that I posted where everyone is saying that it looks like I'm a fan that asked him to take a picture with me, I did not ask for that picture. I asked for no pictures. I didn't know who this man was. My friend asked for pictures with him after asking me to record her sparring with him, and then he asked on everyone that I know and love's life, he asked for pictures with me. I did not ask for those pictures. He asked his assistant to ask my friend after
That's already been debunked, but let's continue. Already been debunked. And number two, why would Alex ask for a picture with the millions of people that wants a picture with Alex Pereira? For some odd reason, out of all those millions of people, Alex asked you, can you pose for a picture with him?
He asked to take the pictures. He asked his assistant to ask my friend to have me send the pictures to her, and then she sends it to my assistant because he wanted the pictures, because it was probably a trophy for him. I did not ask for those pictures. That's besides the point, but
the man is freaking UFC champion, two-time UFC champion. Why would a picture with a 21-year-old girl be a trophy to him? You know how many ladies he's probably had in his life? Why would you, out of all the ladies he had in his life, one actually fights in MMA, and she's, I'm not trying to compare, but she's hotter than you. But for some reason, you're the trophy. I mean, I shouldn't judge her like this, but some of the things she's saying is so freaking comical.
Basically, his assistant sends us an Uber to where we are after the UFC fight and brings us back to the courtyard Marriott where we were supposed to be waiting for Alex to get back from an interview, I think he said, and then we were going to go out. He was talking about going to strip clubs and like having a fun night while we were all in New Jersey, New York for the weekend. We wait for like 2 hours for Alex to come while his friend is on the phone talking about like kids with cancer and big money transfers and things that had to do with Alex, and we were like, hey, it's getting kind of late, like, is Alex coming? Like, what's the plan? Should we just go back home because we're kind of tired? Like, if we're gonna have plans, can we like...
Wow, she's so freaking scared of the man, so uncomfortable with Alex Pereira, but she desperately wants him to show up because she might go home if he doesn't. If you were that uncomfortable with Alex Pereira, you would have gone home when he didn't show up on time. You would have said, this is the opportunity to evacuate the situation. But you chose not to.
Get on with it because it's already getting very late.
You can't make this shit up.
At this point, I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. Eventually, Alex comes to the hotel room after the
man that you're scared of.
And he says that he doesn't want to go out. He wants to enjoy the time that he has with the people he's with. Some bullshit like that. And then he takes off his clothes, gets into bed, orders food, and then is trying to get me to get into bed with him. My friend and me and the translator are all sitting on the couch, and he's just sitting in bed staring at me and telling his translator to tell me things and trying to convince me to get into bed with him. I eventually get into bed with him.
She gets into bed with him.
I was naive, I guess. I didn't think that anything was going to happen. My friend was there with me.
She gets into bed with him. Despite everything she's feeling, she still gets into bed with him. I'm sorry. I'm going to call your allegations bullshit. I don't care at this point. Like, it's just, you can't, no one can be this stupid.
Told her not to leave me at any point. She had told me not to leave her with the assistant at any point. I thought that we were going to be fine. I thought I was going to be able to maybe try and get myself
1,794 likes on this bullshit.
With him, if there was people in the room. I just have problems of my own. I have trauma. This is not the first time that this has happened to me. I was just naive, I guess.
And it's not the first time it happened to her. So that means she was in this situation before and still didn't learn her lesson, and she continues to go to guys' houses or hotels that she feels uncomfortable with. And then she wants to claim trauma. This bullshit trauma that all this modern age people are freaking trying to create. Oh, I have trauma. Oh my God, I have trauma. Oh, I hit my knee on the desk. I have trauma now. Every time somebody's near my knee, I got trauma. I got freaking, it's just such bullshit.
Yes, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I got into bed with him. My friend was there. So was the assistant. I thought I was going to be fine. He starts touching me down there repeatedly. I keep pushing him off. I keep pushing his hand off. I keep bringing his hand back up to like my waist so that we can just like cuddle, because I'm comfortable with cuddling. I'm not comfortable with putting out with somebody that I don't know. I just
you're comfortable
literally
with cuddling.
for the first time. He's huge, scary, doesn't speak any of my language,
and you still waited for him until 2 o'clock in the morning for him to show up. This big scary man. This big scary man that you're so scared of.
I wasn't comfortable putting out with him because that's just not what I do. He keeps touching me. I keep pushing him off. Eventually, me and my friend say that we're very tired and we would like to go to sleep. They turn all the lights off. My friend and the assistant get into bed. It's a queen-size bed that they get into. I'm in a queen-size bed right next to it with Alex. Me and my friend are on the inside of the bed looking at each other under the blankets. He keeps pulling the blanket over me, keeps trying to touch me. I feel suffocated. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know what to do. I've pushed him off so many times at this point, and he's not taking the hint, and these men are clearly not caring about my comfortability. Mind you, again, I don't know what I was thinking. I was naive, I guess. I guess you could say I asked for it by getting into bed with him. I didn't know that this was going to happen. I'm pushing him off of me. He won't get off.
I don't want to laugh, but
He eventually pulls my underwear and my pants down to around like halfway on my thighs, and I push him off again. He gets out of bed. He starts screaming and putting his socks and his clothes on. I'm terrified because I don't know what's happening. My pants are around my legs after I told him no and pushed him off, and he's screaming in another language. Me and my friend are looking at each other, hiding under the blankets, like about to start bawling our eyes out. And he starts telling his translator that he doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him and my friend, and that he wants them to leave. His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. His translator and my friend leave the hotel room. He immediately starts trying to take my clothes off. He starts trying to take my socks off. I try to tell him no, because I have blisters on my feet from walking around New York in heels for like 10 hours the night before, and I had band-aids on my blisters, and they were going to get ripped off with my socks. I tried to explain to him, don't take my socks off, please. He didn't understand that, so at that point, I'm like, okay, fuck. I'm in a room with a huge man that doesn't speak English. He's not understanding what I'm saying. He doesn't give a fuck because I've pushed him off so many times, and he doesn't care. And he like got up and screamed and scared me into staying in the room with him and making his assistant and my friend leave the room. At this point, I know what's happening. I've been through this before. I know that it's just easiest if I just shut my mouth, do what I have to, put on whatever performance that I have to make it end.
that part right there, I have to admit, is troubling to hear. That part right there, I have to admit it. It is troubling to hear. To hear a woman say that. I've been here before. I gotta do whatever it takes to survive. I'm gonna perform, do my best just to survive. That's very troubling and very, very scary to hear that coming from a young woman. But is she lying? If she's not lying, then yes, Alex Pereira deserves whatever he's gonna get. But I just don't believe. I just don't believe she's that naive. I'm going to go with that confirmation within myself that I do not believe Alex Pereira committed these without her consent. I don't believe that. She's lied a couple of times already. And like I said, I can be very, very wrong about this. All of us can. But I'm not going to continue with what happened, because what happened is very, very troubling to hear, especially from a woman. Whether she's lying or not, it's troubling to hear what happened between them. Because I'm not sure if Alex didn't want nothing to do with her afterwards, so she got mad and that's why she's doing all of this, or that in fact it happened like that. So either way, it's troubling to hear that. And honestly, in my channel, the people who choose to follow me, we don't need to hear that bullshit. We don't need to hear about the sexual acts that were performed, whether it was consent or not consent. We don't need to hear the sexual acts that performed. All we need to know is that something went on between these two individuals that one is saying was not consenting and the other one is saying that it was. So that's all we need to confirm. And we also need to confirm the story that she put out there. You know what I mean? But the reason I showed you that video prior, before all of this went on, is because I'm showing you the type of lifestyle this young lady chose to live, and the type of lifestyle that put her in that situation, and also the type of lifestyle that not once but twice put her in a situation that she is talking about right now. And now she's claiming that she was naive. Now she's claiming that she's just a hard-headed child that never seems to learn her lesson. Because 21 to me is still kind of a child. But legally is an adult, period. Legally, she's an adult. So Alex Pereira was definitely in his rights and legal to perform whatever he act. Obviously, if it was consent with this young girl. So, you already know what I think. I would like to know what you think. I would really like to know what you guys think about this. And we don't need to go insult this young woman. We don't need to tell her anything of the sort. You don't need to be chasing down her page. I mean, let's be men. Let's be men. Men don't do that. You know what I mean? I just believe right now, and like I said, once again, let me repeat it. I can be wrong if more evidence comes out and it shows that, holy shit, Alex did do what she said he did. Or I can be right. It comes out that she was definitely lying and that she's definitely was seeking clout. But it doesn't change the fact that when you're at 1% men, when are 1% men and men in general gonna learn their lesson that dealing with these young ladies who seek opportunities where older men who have money, who are in the spotlight, when are men ever gonna learn? When are we gonna stop seeing stories like this? Obviously, we're not, because biblical, the world's going to get worse. So it is what it is. This is Black Shy Guy, and as always, thank you for sitting at my table. I'm out of here. Peace.
Arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent victim of suicidal maniac.